Alright. When I was younger, I tried to discover the theory for everything, which is a theory about the universe. Now, at the time, the most modern theory that existed is E equals mc squared, which was invented by Albert Einstein. It was invented in the mind of Albert Einstein. And whatever he created with this, his brain sputtered out this, and this equation changed the entire world. Now, granted, this don't mean shit, right? E equals mc squared. To me, it didn't mean anything. And for some reason, I decided to take on this quest because after he came along with this equation, it basically created, his equations created a topology of what you would call the fabric of space-time. And his theory basically stated that energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Hence, space-time. So energy equals mass times the speed of light squared creates a fabric in space-time, according to Albert Einstein, in the mind of Albert Einstein. This interconnected everything, but what happened was a problem had arisen, and that was the problem of singularity, also called a black hole. And this problem to Albert Einstein, as he grew older, was like someone pulling the plug on a bathtub, and the drain to his theory was occurring, and it was being ripped apart. So this left a problem. What it actually was doing, it was highlighting, it was wanting us to look into whatever that was. The portal, the black hole, whatever. So take it upon myself to try to discover the current problem in modern day cosmology, and that is quantum gravity. So I'm just going to take you to the beginning of what happened after I saw this particular equation spelled out. In my mind, I saw energy is equal to mass, right? Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. So energy equals mc squared. So they're both the same. They're one and the same. So if you take mass, which is energy, to find out the energetic content within that mass, in other words, to find the energy, is to take the speed of light squared. So let's just do a geometry. Okay. And we'll say that this is the speed of light squared in space over mass equals the energy inside of this structure of mass within a geometry. So this is what E equals mc squared look like as a geometry in my mind, right there. So I don't know why I did it or why I thought of it, but I thought to myself, if E equals mc squared gets this energy extraction out of mass, then why can't you do the opposite equation and have a duality effect? So instead of E equals mc squared, I said energy equals gravity by the speed of light squared. I just changed it. So energy also equals gravity, because it's true, because mass, all mass has energy, and mass is where gravity comes from. So let's just put that there. Instead of timing it by speed of light, we're going to divide it by the speed of light. So we have an opposition to the multiplication. We have a division. One goes up, one comes down. Now in my mind, there was an inversion of the geometry. So it also equaled G as well. Energy equals mass, mass equals energy, also equals gravity. I used multiplication and the division to create two states of the two. It's a lot easier to explain it now as Mulder, but you wouldn't believe how much torment the mind goes through to find this sort of stuff. Granted, the only reason why I even went in this direction was because of prayer. So, for anyone that tries to throw this paganistic, spiritual, religious shit on me, this was born out of pure prayer. And you will never understand that in my own soul, what that truly means. For someone to pray for something such as this, it's extremely intimate. So anyways, so just to make it easier in my mind, see if I can remember this. So I knew mass was this. I remember I was turmoiling over it as I was drawing these symbols out. So I knew mass was energy. It was also gravity, right? It was a gem. We'll symbolize that as the mass, gravity, and energy. And so I created an exponential line into infinity. I wanted to call this infinity. And we'll call, let's go ahead and draw a line like this so we denote a beginning here. And this line here I'll draw also into infinity, which became, we'll just do a little intersecting line. This is the symbol I came up with right here. I called this the positive state, which is the exponential multiplication factor. And this is the divisional state. So we have a positive and a negative in a sense. One's divisional, one multiplies. And instead of going to speed of light squared, I decided to go ahead and factor this as, in fact, you can start at any speed of light equation in the end, is what I came to, but we'll just do what I did in the beginning. I went C2, and we did it in squared. So it would be C4, C6, so on and so forth into infinity. Remember? Infinity. So what I'm stating here is that not only is gravity, mass, and energy all one, they also have an exponential expanding nature of energy that travels at the speed of light in a direction within time and space that multiplies into an infinite direction. But because it had to have its opposite on the divisional state, it also deduced infinitely within space in a divisional. Now this made total sense to me because you have something like, for instance, the sun is a wound up ball of fire, right? So it is taking, it is exemplifying this multiplication force here. All of this. Now, the light rays that are radiating away in space are the divisional expression here. This is just a part of the equation that I wrote to the Library of Congress. Well, actually, I wrote to a bunch of people. A lot of people, actually.